Hi, my name's Ilma and welcome to my channel. I've been posting Christian blogs for a number of years now, about nine years. So today I'd like to share Psalm 91 verses 11 to 16. And here's the word of God. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. On their hands they will bear you up, lest you strike your foot against a stone. You will tread on the lion and the adder, the young lion and the serpent you will trample underfoot. Because he holds fast to me in love, I will deliver him. I will protect him because he knows my name. When he calls to me, I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will rescue him and honor him. With long life, I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. Psalm 91, 11 to 16. Here's my blog. In the last verses of this psalm, we are given an actual illustration of God's protection to those who love him. In our world today, there is a fascination with the heavenly beings, especially angels. We see sculptures, paintings, and even jewelry or small figurines of angels. The Bible gives us a clear image of these heavenly beings. In 2 Samuel 14, verse 17, it says that they can discern good and evil. In Hebrews 1, verse 14, they are described as children of God. In Revelations 14:6, we are given a picture of them flying in midair, who had the purpose to proclaim the gospel to those who live on earth, to every nation, tribe, language, and people. After hearing what the Bible has to say about these heavenly beings, we can now begin to picture how God assigns all these angels to guard all those who belong to him. In verse 12, it is clearly depicted that they will bear you up. In other words, they will lift you up and make sure not even your foot is harmed by anything, not even a stone. What a comfort to know that even though we don't see them, they are there to ensure we are protected. In verse 13, this is almost prophetic and refers to Jesus, who crushes the serpent and the young lion. In other words, those who believe in the Lord will have authority over these wild creatures, and these animals will never hurt them at all. The following verses are more assurances of God's love because he promises deliverance and protection to all those who know his name. Verse 15 sounds almost like a caress from God that soothes us, our whole being. He will answer us when we are in trouble. He will come to liberate or free us. In verse 16 is another promise of long life and satisfaction and contentment to those who belong to him. What a faithful lover. Reflection. How has God manifested his protection on you all these years that you have served him? And why is it important to be reminded of this protection that God provides us? When I was probably in my late 20s, my son was about 2-3 years old then. And we lived in this studio in a very, very old house, which is a 1940s house, I think, or 1920s, I can't remember. But anyway, they had a big German Shepherd, and my son was so scared of that dog. And when I told him that he has angels protecting him, he was so amazed when he just remembered what I told him. And so one day I wasn't home, and he actually was going to be attacked by the dog, by the German Shepherd, and he froze when the dog came, and had his whole his 2 feet up almost to attack him, and it froze. And he was taller than my son, and my son said, "My angel is here," and it just didn't do anything to my son. So when I came home from my teaching, my classes, he was so excited to tell me that the angels protected him. So that's one clear manifestation of God's protection over my son in his young life. And I know that there are so many times that there was one time that somebody meant me so much harm, meant me evil. This person was going to come and get me and attack me, and he just slipped and hurt his whole body and cannot move. So I know and I believe that God has a way of protecting us. And I'm sure that we don't know a lot of the miracles that he has done in our life. And there's one thing more, when it protected me, my house, from being burned, because I was giving my son was sick with asthma then. He was probably 9 years old, and I had to give homework to my students because I had a neighbor who was my friend. So I went to the neighbor to give the homework, and I didn't realize that I stayed longer than I should, and I was cooking rice on a rice cooker, and it burned. And though the whole house was in smokes, I think it's like someone got in the house and turned it off, because nobody was there, just my son sleeping, and he protected my son again. So it is important for us to be reminded of the things that we are protected from, because these are clear manifestations of God's protection over all those whom he loves. Thanks for watching. I hope you check my website at ILMA'S.com for artworks, photographs, and a copy of this blog. And thanks for watching, and remember how God is constantly protecting you, especially now in our COVID. Thanks again.